have a little bit of a change of plans today. So the parts for the ski that broke the timing chain last week are sitting on my workbench, but that customer said, screw it, we're already down. Let's put CP forged pistons in it and Carrillo rods. So now we gotta wait on that and a little bit of machine work for all of that to happen, which means I have a free weekend. That's all I had scheduled for this weekend. So instead of working, I am going to ride for the first full day that I've had this entire year. We're gonna get connected to the XPL, about to pull up to my storage unit and the boat ramp now, and we're gonna go have some fun today. With some more two-stroke content. So tonight is Tuesday, and this is the only night I have to get ready for my ride later this weekend. So this weekend I'm getting ready for our Mudbug group ride. I'm going to try to ride Thursday to Sunday, but realistically I'll probably only get out there Friday to Sunday, and I've got customer skis the rest of the week. I had a customer ski last night, so tonight is the only night to get this ski ready. Now we got a lot to do to it because typical me, I've got a ski that is running fantastic. I put 200 something miles on it in one day, and we're gonna tear it down, modify it, make it faster, and then we're jumping right into the weekend with an unknown ski. We don't know what might break. We don't know if it'll last. Why do I do this? I don't know. We've got a old R&D ride plate, an Inventioneering intake grate, a Rossier exhaust pipe, some Beach House sponsons. Now these sponsons are not mine, but I'm going to install them for the ride. We're going to see how they handle. If I like them the way they are, then we're going to replicate the Beach House sponson kit out of billet aluminum. So it'll be better than this plastic. Yes, it's going to weigh a little bit more, but the billet aluminum is simply going to be stronger. And stronger to me is always better, especially when you're ripping around turns. You can see these big circles. People put big fender washers on here to keep these from ripping off. It's just not going to happen on aluminum. It's strong. So when I do get these produced out of billet next week, that's assuming that they handle great. People say they do, but I don't trust other people's opinions. I trust my own opinion. I'll happily have those made for you. I would like to make them, keep them in stock, and sell them for people, but I don't know about the demand. If any of this stuff would like it for your own project, I'm happy to replicate them. The Inventioneering intake grate, I'm going to try to make that out of billet. If the R&D plate works out great, I'm going to try to replicate that. I am going to replicate the UMI steering at some point too. So if you want any of that, let me know. So that lets me know in what order to replicate these parts in. Now, all of the parts that I've gotten for this ski, except the Rossier exhaust pipe, kept from a guy named Nick. And he's got a YouTube channel called Today We Wrench, and he strictly does old two-stroke builds, strips them down completely, rebuilds them. and like does legit nice work. His videos are better than mine. The builds that he does are way better than what I'm doing here. Like strips them down to nothing and completely redoes the entire ski. Really incredible to see some of the stuff that he's done. So if you like the two-stroke stuff, definitely go check him out. And I wouldn't be doing any of this if it wasn't for him, because he was nice enough to sell me some of the parts that he has collected. Not a lot of people want to sell this stuff. It's hard to come by, and no one wants to get rid of it once they find it. I am very thankful that he was willing to sell those to me. We're gonna get started on this. I went pick up some hardware for the beach house sponsons, so I already started on that, so I might as well finish it. Then we'll get on the Rossier pipe. That shouldn't be too hard. I do have to add some pissers, and of course, I got some pretty little blue pissers from Blosian. I'm thinking I'm gonna line these pissers up all right here. In the engine bay, we're gonna have this nice blue water line. So on the hull, we've got 4 bolts here that go all the way through, but we're only going to use 3 of them. So we are going to have a bolt here that's just acting as a filler bolt. We do want to put silicone all the way around these. I'm gonna put a little silicone on these sponsons as well to prevent any water from going inside. If you put the bolts in with no silicone, you're going to have a water leak. So we're gonna silicone this up and put the sponsons on. It's actually a pretty straightforward install. If you can't figure that out, then well, you might need a mechanic. This side is installed. Now you can see I went back with fender washers just to prevent these from being damaged or ripping off. Honestly, I don't really like it. It doesn't look great to me, and appealing stuff to the eye matters to me just as much as functionality. If it handles perfect, then I will replicate these out of billet aluminum, have them anodized black. We won't need to use hardware that makes this look homemade. I'll come back with button head bolt. I'll use Allen heads instead of these Phillips. This is all my hardware store had, but we'll order the right stuff. Look how much grip these offer now. Like, it has an actual blade that is digging into the water and offering you some bite. And we come to this side and there is no blade. There's absolutely nothing coming out and biting into the water. And this handles like garbage. As well as this ski handled, when you really start to push it in a turn, it just washes the back end out. And we don't want to do that. We want it to bite as hard as humanly possible. So we put the beach house sponsons on, and we'll see how that does this weekend. We do have to remove the water box to access the hardware holding it on. So I'm going to get on that. This side was pretty straightforward. You could see I did remove a little bit of the foam, so that's what you're seeing in there. But it was, you know, it's all open back here. It's easy to access. So now we need to come to this side and remove the water box. We need to do this anyways, do some modifications. Back in the garage this morning, last night, I had to accept defeat. I was here till after midnight. I got in one of those like mad scientist modes that I get into where everything just gets crazy, and this thing kicked my butt. If you look, here's what we got going on. All the mess on the ground, mess on the ski. Not the way I like to do things, but when I get frustrated, I just get in these work modes. It's just, I don't care about organization. Just shit goes everywhere. So we're gonna get this cleaned up, everything back where it belongs, and I'm gonna come back for an update to show you guys what I was going through last night. We're back, we got all this cleaned up, and installing the right side sponson last night, I knew I had to remove the water box to access the bolts. Well, to get the water box out, I had to remove the VTS motor. To get the VTS out, I had to take the pump out the ski, and that's when I discovered a problem. If you knew, okay, pump's gotta come out, VTS gotta come out, water box gotta come out. Easy. But there's no instructions. I kind of figured it out as I go. Fought with the water box, trying to get it out. Couldn't. The only resolution here was take the VTS out. Honestly, not a big deal. If I would have known that ahead of time, instead of just trying to get the water box out, it probably would have went a lot quicker. But anyways, both sponsons are installed now. I came to the front and I got the Rossier pipe installed with the Rossier manifold. I just need to reroute the coolant lines. Yeah, this pipe is not pretty. It's seen better days, but it pressure tested just fine. So the pipe is gonna work great. And after our mud bug ride, I'll pull all this back apart and have it powder coated. So this is going to be pretty again. And you already know what color I'm gonna powder coat it. There's no need to even say. For the jet pump, I discovered a problem. Look at that wear ring. I just put a new wear ring in it and it is melted. So when I pulled the pump out, it was damn near locked up in here. Could hardly turn it. I'd really force it to spin it over by hand. I thought the pump had failed and caused this, but the pump is perfectly fine. Everything spins great, but the wear ring did melt. And I think I know what did this. I was out riding in some rough water a couple weeks ago. I probably spent just as much time in the air than I did in the water. So not having that constant water flow to the pump, the wear ring might have gotten a little hot, and that's what caused it to melt in this way. Other than that, I don't know what would have did it. That's not typical damage from debris. I didn't suck anything up. Didn't ride in dirty water that would have sucked anything up. So that's the only thing I can think of. Maybe that didn't happen, I don't know. So today, I'll just get the coolant lines wrapped up, get the control housing on the bars installed. Tomorrow, this will be ready to go for the ride. I feel like I've been neglecting y'all for this video because I've just been crunching down on this ski and getting stuff done. It's been one hell of a day. It's like 11:30 at night right now. It's Wednesday, and already people have showed up for Mudbug. I had to drop what I was doing earlier, and I had to go tow somebody in, which is great. I'm happy that I was able to do that. A couple other people broke down, and I assisted them. I'm happy to do it, but it puts me behind on the stuff that I was doing during the day, so here I am at 11 at night trying to get it all done. It is what it is. So I almost need like a camera crew following me around because I'm all over the place all day long. Maybe one day we'll get there. Got my pissers installed here. I've decided to put 4 of them. I could have wired them in and done a single pisser, but why do that when you could have 4? And it looks cool, right? When I got the graphics kit on here, it'll look really neat. Got the billet control housing on. This is much better than the stock plastic one. Underneath the hood, we've got the Rossier pipe, which of course we still need a powder coat. And I got these nice blue water lines all running out here. This is all ready to go. All we have left to do is the intake grate and the ride plate. I've got the stock intake grate and ride plate next to the R&D plate and the Inventioneering intake grate. So we're gonna start with the intake grates. You see this one here, this is a very interesting design. I have never seen a single intake grate that looks like this, but people claim that this is the best one, so that's the one that we got. So what this is going to do compared to the stock grate, see this just has bars going across. This is preventing anything large from going into your pump and destroying it. This one actually has a scoop in it. So it's a top loader intake grate. By top loader, they dig into the water and load the top side of the pump with water. What's most important is you have this blade that bites into the water and allows you to stay hooked up in rough water better. I like riding in rough water, that's what I like to do. People say the stock grate is going to be faster in flat water, which I get it, it's less drag, you're not loading the motor as much, but I don't care about flat water speed with this. I want to go on the roughest water I could find and go as fast as I possibly can. So that'll help with that. And the next thing here is going to be this R&D ride plate. Now this is very controversial. I've heard a lot of people say that this ride plate does nothing and the stock one is better, and I've had others say that this plate is great. So we're going to try it for ourselves. What I would really like to do is leave the stock one on and test them back to back with no other changes and feel the difference of the ski, but I'm kind of on a time crunch here, so we're going to do that another day. I'm just going to go with my gut feeling and bolt it on, assuming that I'm going to be a little slower in flat water, which is fine, but have some improved handling and improved rough water performance. So side by side, the angles of the plate are pretty much the same, but see how this one's longer? So this one should theoretically keep it planted in rough water better. And then the design of the plate, it's got inverted chine. I would think bite the water better. It should turn a lot harder. We'll see. We'll test them back to back in a future video. Maybe this plate does suck and does nothing. There's only one way to find out. So I'm willing to test it and see for myself. So I'm gonna bolt these onto the ski real quick, and then next time you see it, we're going to be on the water testing them out. The 2 strokes out, and it's now Thursday night before Mudbug officially gets kicked off on Friday, and we've got a spring and retainer job. I got Jody back to help me out. I don't know if we're gonna get this done tonight. We might. It shouldn't take too long. Tomorrow we're going on the ride. He's going before me because I got another ski to work on in the morning. It's all part of the fun for me. What time is it like right now? Like 11 o'clock, 10:30?
10:40.
10:40, so it's a late start, but hey, we're getting it done. So we're gonna start getting this knocked out. We gotta change the plan. So Jason's here trying to get his ski fit. You gotta go help him out here in the dark. So what you got going on, man? Your injectors are leaking and you can't figure it out?
The middle injector has a soft gasket.
A soft gasket. It doesn't have a gasket, it has an O-ring.
O-ring.
The middle one, that O-ring is softer than the other ones. And it keeps bulging out.
Yeah. Okay, that might have been part of the reason why you were having a leak. But we found a problem with his middle O-ring, and it's split like that. So that is no good. We're gonna go get a new O-ring on it and slap this sucker back together.
So we got another O-ring and went on perfectly.
The new O-ring slid right in.
One's there, one's under the engine.
Oh shit. Well, that ain't no good.
Are you serious?
Cut. Yes, it fell back there. Marcus was just sitting there holding the blade. He's like, I just flipped it over. I just turned it.
Got another bolt because they dropped one. So now we got a black one and a chrome one. So it's like yin and yang in here. It ain't matching, but hey, it's
gonna
get you riding tomorrow.
There you go.
Oh God.
Dude,
Oh God.
this
Oh
dude
God.
just dropped the Allen
Oh
wrench.
my God.
Come on, man.
And that hit the bottom. I heard that.
Here, watch out. Let me.
At least it wasn't mine. It wasn't my Allen wrench on the bottom. Butterfingers, man.
Yep.
Earlier, Jason, you blew out an injector.
Middle
It
one.
squirted fuel all over your hull, right?
Yes.
A gallon or two of gasoline ended up in the bottom of his hull. What probably saved him from burning down to the ground is he's got enough hull ventilation
And then
to allow the fumes to escape. If you have a sealed hull, you got a bunch of gas in there and stuff that's hot, sparks and this and that, it's going to explode. You see videos all the time of that exploding. And one way to easily do that is our little green Hulk vent. Shine the flashlight right here real quick. Look at that. That lets all the air out that you need if something like that were to happen. Look how nice that is. Designed by me in the United States, and it's made here in the United States.
and it's
You can't beat it. And it's functional. It is very functional. Jason's got this pretty much wrapped up. And I think that's going to conclude this week's video. So thank you guys for watching. I'm not going to bore you with the SVHO in there. You see me do that so many times. So next week, we're going to come back and you're going to see part of the mud bug ride, which should be pretty neat. These guys are all out here to ride with us for our mud bug ride. People started showing up on Tuesday to ride, but I'll be riding Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you ever want to come pack a bag, come on down. We're happy to have you. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.